Welcome to day 7 here at the Great New York State Fair, Women's Day. We're Ted and Amy with WCNY Connected at the fair. Ooh, it's a hot one out here at the CNY Media Center today.
It really is. Ted is playing the diva today, though, because the last couple of days you waited in the air conditioning and then said, yeah, Amy, just let me know when you need me on set. So
just holler.
I've been the one who's been waiting, but no. The attendance was way up when we checked in yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday was a little bit quieter. Let's see. Overall, 62,036 people yesterday.
Okay.
Making a total so far of 482,640. That's of last night.
Okay.
And so that means we're up about 3,400 people from last year. Although, we keep mentioning the perfect storm is probably later on today. So this is the calm before the storm.
We'll probably make up for any lack of attendance with just the one night. We'll tell you about that coming up. But yes, could have been the heat that maybe kept people away yesterday. I'm not really sure.
Boy, it has been a warm one. It's been a warm summer, but it just keeps continuing. We hit September 1st today, and let's see, today there's a high of 92 degrees. Tomorrow, another high of 90 degrees.
You can see the low pressure here moving in, Amy.
And on Friday, a cool 88 degrees, so we're down a couple degrees. In fact, I hear the weekend is going to be a bit cooler, but
I may have to wear a jacket.
I hate to complain. I'm the one who's cold from October through May, so I'm kind of trying to soak in all the heat at once, but boy, enough is enough, I guess, right?
Well, you have to be careful, especially if you're out here at the fair when the temperatures are in the 90s. It's very easy to become overheated.
And we have someone who is treating those who are, suffering from any kind of medical problem, but especially heat-related illnesses. Dr. Derek Cooney is the Emergency Medical Services Director at Upstate and is joining us here at the fair today. Hi, Dr. Cooney.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
You've probably been a busy guy the last couple of days.
Absolutely. We love coming out here to the fair, but we do see a lot of heat-related illness, and we like folks to try to prevent that.
Right.
Well, is there, I don't want to caution people to come out. I mean, you just have to really be careful and take precautions against the heat.
Absolutely. I mean, we love it when folks come out and have fun in the sun here at the New York State Fair, but we do recommend a few things. The main thing is hydration, so drink a lot of clear fluids, sports drinks, water, that kind of things. And we do like folks to have fun, but we do recommend that they limit some of their alcohol intake, and drinks with a lot of caffeine in them can also cause dehydration.
Now, if you're with somebody, Dr. Cooney, and you notice they're acting a little odd, how can you tell when they're starting to suffer from heat exhaustion?
Well, heat exhaustion and heat stroke are a little bit difficult to tell apart. And so what we like to tell people is that if they or their loved one or friend looks like their heart rate's going fast, they look a little peaked, or they feel lightheaded, especially if someone passes out or is acting disoriented or unusual. Those could be signs of serious heat-related injury, and they need immediate medical attention.
And sometimes it's not sweating, right? Your body can't get rid of the sweat, and that is what creates a heat illness.
Correct. So sometimes you're so dehydrated your body can't create sweat, or if you're on medications. So a lot of medications, although we do recommend people continue to take their medications as they're prescribed by their doctor, some medications can cause you to suffer from heat exhaustion or heat stroke earlier on, and a lot of those medicines decrease your fluid volume for folks with congestive heart failure, and of course diabetes and heart disease all play a factor in that too.
And it's not necessarily an age thing either, right? I mean, little kids seem to have energy to spare, but they can overheat as well.
Yeah, we always recommend you keep a close eye on the children, young children especially, because they can suffer from heat-related illness earlier than average adults, and of course the elderly, the older folks. So the kids and the grandparents are always at higher risk.
Now, we were talking about, what's the warning today that started at 11 o'clock?
There's an air quality alert.
What does that mean for people, anybody, or just those
when
that
it's hot like this, what happens?
Well, air quality alerts have got a lot of factors in it. You can talk to the EPA guys, and the meteorologist guys usually know more about that than us. But anytime there's a high heat index, that's going to mean you're going to need to consume a lot more fluids if you're outside.
Okay.
Taking breaks is also a great way to protect yourself and your family. So, we love fun in the sun, but there's a lot of fun here at the New York State Fair inside. And as long as you take a lot of breaks, get out of the sun, get in a cooler environment, and make sure you do that frequently throughout the day.
I like to grouse a lot, Doctor. We're sitting here in the sun taping the show, but I really feel bad for those people that are parking cars in the parking lots here at the fair. Those troopers that are crossing the traffic across State Fair Boulevard.
I mean, not just coming to enjoy it, but those that are working really have to be careful.
Absolutely. And you bring a very good point up, is, the state troopers, they can't help it. They're in full uniform, but if you can help it and you can come out here in a little bit cooler clothes, that also helps. But don't forget your sunscreen.
Sunscreen, very
And don't
important.
substitute water for margaritas for water.
No, that wouldn't be wise.
Right, you should kind of have both. All right. Well, Dr. Cooney, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Let's all stay safe during this big time heat today.
There you go. We're staying cool here on the set here at CNY Media Center, right beside Heroes and Legends, doing the WCNY Connected.
That's right. And you know, it is Women's Day. You mentioned that. A lot of good stuff that's going on in the Art and Home Center today.
That's right. That's where most of the activities take place. We had a chance to look at the building a little bit earlier.
This year at the fair, we're celebrating the 75th anniversary of the original name of the building, which is Harriet May Mills. And Harriet was a suffragette. And actually, in 1920, she started the Democratic Party here in Onondaga County, and she was president for 16 years. So she has quite a lot of history behind her. Visitors coming to the Art and Home Center or the Harriet May Mills building this year will see a variety of different things. I'm having a teaching background. I like to try to do educational things. And we have a work in progress where we're going to have people from the Embroiderers Guild. We'll have ceramic painters, people who have entered. They're going to show their skills. We have artists in residence. We actually have professional and amateur artists who will be here daily doing their specialties, showing us you know, what gift they have. And we have the culinary competition, which is going to be open judging this year, which will give the public a chance to really be part of the judging by listening to see what's going on. We have the model circus and carnival workers and railroad models makers upstairs. They were actually doing demonstrations. We have the musical museum, which is upstairs on the 3rd floor, and there's a lot of antique musical instruments up there. The competitions, we have several in the building, actually thousands have been entered. And of course the fine arts and photo show upstairs is absolutely fabulous. It reaches the whole length of the building, and it's worthwhile to go up and look at it. A lot of interesting artwork's been displayed up there. We have arts and crafts, which is open to, again, the general public, anyone who would like to enter, and senior citizens for anyone 60 and over. So there's something for everyone, many categories, from pottery to jewelry to clothing to quilts to afghans to crocheted items. It just covers a lot. The 75th anniversary, we're going to have a living historian here with us who will be portraying Harriet May Mills. She is actually having a special vintage garment made that Harriet would have worn at that time, and her sister is going to be portraying Harriet's mother. So they'll have quite a dialogue, I'm sure, between the two of them.
Oh, I'm Miss Harriet May Mills, and I'd like to introduce my mother, Harriet Smith Mills. 75 years ago, this year, this building was named the Harriet May Mills Building. And it is such an honor for me. And I'm so glad to be back today to help celebrate the 75th anniversary. The organizers were so kind to invite me and Mother Mills. Now, I wore this button during the 1920 presidential election. That was the first election where women were allowed the right to vote. Allowed the right to vote? No, we voted. We exercised our God-given right to cast a ballot for the candidate of our choice. And I used to come to the state fair, and I would stand over in front of the buildings, and I would get on a soapbox, and I would exhort in favor of women's rights. And I would pass out literature to anyone and everyone who would come along. You know, the Constitution begins with we the people, not we the landed gentry or we the male establishment. It's we the people. And until women have equal rights in education, economics, social position, our hard-won right to vote will not be complete. So there is more work to do, that all women can enjoy the responsibilities and duties of citizenship.
Very nice, very nice.
Two reenactors reminded me of,
Women's Day, what?
It's kind of like when you and me are doing an appearance and you start talking. I just kind of stand there going...
That is not the case. Would you like me to try it? Well, we were headed to the state fair earlier, and I don't like to take Route 690 because it's always too crowded.
That's what I'm saying.
for me.
And the poor mother had the heavy black outfit on and didn't get to say anything. But you know what? Women's Day continues today.
That's right.
That doesn't mean you get in free if you're a woman.
No, it doesn't, because that would be, 50% of the fair
would
goers.
lose a lot of money that
right,
way.
Probably not.
But we are celebrating
We still
women.
are enjoying Women's Day.
Absolutely. All right. Still to come here on WCNY Connected. Yesterday, the cry was, the British are coming, the British are coming.
Boy, if you were into the Beatles, you were in heaven yesterday. We'll check with that coming up next on WCNY Connected at the fair.